Oh, yes. So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's AI and Latte session. Really excited to be here. And yes, today, unlike our other sessions, we are having a fantastic speaker today. We have Marianne. She's going to be telling us about her journey. And as you can see, she's going to be telling us about the tools and the kits that she has taken on board. Has made her, move not from just being a 9-to-5er to also being a founder. Marianne, you're welcome. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Shay, for this session.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone. And I want to also use this opportunity to thank Tekkdose, apart from Shay, because Shay is just an individual. Tekkdose is a platform for inviting me to share my journey. So my name is Marianne Oranekwulu. I'm the founder of TrackOne, and TrackOne is a remote patient monitoring platform. So it's basically designed to help healthcare providers monitor and manage their patients with chronic conditions between clinic visits. So today I want to share with us the problems I observed over many years, eventually becoming a digital product today. So this is my story about AI not replacing people, right? So it's a story about combining my lived experience. It's a story about bringing in my product thinking, my cloud and DevOps knowledge, and then AI to solve this meaningful problem. So my hope is that by the end of this session, you will see that building a product is more accessible than many people think, right? So we know that before now, Mr. Sheyi is always posting on the group that if you look around you, there are problems where you're working, you have problems, you can identify these problems. It could be problems from where you've already worked. So most of us, especially those of us who have moved from Nigeria down to the UK, we've had places we've worked. There were gaps there. And even now you're working in the UK, there are gaps where you're working. So it's just for you to identify these problems and then you solve these problems. So for me, TrackOne was a gap I noticed while I was in Nigeria. So my story began even long before the AI became the mainstream, right? So for over 12 years, I worked in the healthcare and pharmaceutical across Rivers State and Bayelsa in Nigeria. So I worked closely with hospitals, clinicians, pharmacists. I worked with healthcare administrators and patients. So I wasn't looking at healthcare from a distance. I was living in it every day. So over time, I began noticing that patterns, especially among patients living with chronic diseases, right? That's the hypertension and diabetes. And then one key observation kept appearing again and again. That's my journey, right? So the problems I could not ignore were patients would visit the hospital, receive treatment, and return home. But once they left the hospital, visibility often disappears. And nobody knew what was happening between these appointments. So they were taking their medications, their blood pressure readings, were they improving? Were their glucose level under control? Or was this condition getting worse? So too often, these healthcare providers only become aware of these problems when these patients return with serious complications. And then sometimes these patients come down with stroke, they come down with kidney failures, they come down with emergency hospitalization. Sometimes the outcome that could have been prevented with earlier intervention. So I realized these problems, it wasn't always treatment. The problem was what happened between visits. So between the time the patient leaves the doctor's office and the time they return back for the next appointment, nobody is monitoring them. So it's a gap. Now, like we've always said, every product starts with a problem. For me, one of the biggest lessons I learned is that this great product rarely starts with technology. They start with problems. And for years, I watched these patients come into these hospitals. They received their treatment and then they disappeared until the next appointment. So the healthcare professionals, were they doing their jobs? Yes, absolutely, they were doing their jobs. But the hospitals were doing their best, but there was a visible gap. Nobody really knew what was happening between these visits. So the more I saw this happen, the more questions stayed in my mind. How can healthcare providers stay connected to patients beyond the walls of the hospital? And then these questions eventually became TrackOne. This is something I wanted everyone here to remember, that products don't just start with features. They don't start with AI. Product starts with a problem that refuses to leave your mind. So on this next slide, I already identified the problems. I had the problem. So now what? So this is the stage where many great ideas stop, right? So you have the idea. So after the idea, what next? So I have spent these years understanding the healthcare problem. I knew who the users were. I knew why the problem mattered. And I didn't just have a product. I didn't have a development team. I didn't have the funding. I didn't also have a technical co-founder. And honestly, I didn't have all the answers. So the question I kept asking myself was, how do I turn this idea into something real? And how I think this is where many people get stuck. Not because they don't have these ideas, and not because they don't know what the next step looks like. So I keep encouraging people. I say, this is what, and this is one of the reasons why communities like Tekkdose are important, right? Because a lot of people have these valuable ideas. A lot of people understand the real problems of what they often need is guidance. They need product thinking, the right tools, the right people to help bridge this gap between the idea and the lived product. And that's, I'm very, very happy I'm in this community. So they will, even if you have the idea, right, and you don't know what next to do, Tekkdose is there to help guide you to you bring these products to life. So for the product thinking, that changed everything, right? So one of the biggest shifts in my thinking happened when I discovered product thinking. At first, I was focused on the wrong question. I kept asking, how do I build this app? But experienced product people ask a different question. They ask, what problems are we solving? So that changed everything for me. So before thinking about the features, the screens, the technology, I focused on understanding the users. So for TrackMon, there were two main users, the patients and the healthcare providers. I spent time thinking about the challenges, their needs, and the outcomes they wanted. So what information does these hospitals need? What would they make life, as in what would make life easier for these patients? What would encourage adoption? This helped me define what TrackMon should actually do. So the technology is important, AI is powerful, but product thinking comes first. So if you understand what the users deeply need, what the users deeply need, building the solution becomes much easier, right? So this is where AI changed the whole game. This is where my AI journey started, right? So, and I want to be very honest about this. AI did not give me the problem. AI did not tell me what to build. AI did not validate the need. Those things came from my years of healthcare experience and product thinking. So what AI did was to help me move faster. So instead of spending days researching something, I could get direction in minutes. Instead of getting stuck for hours, I could troubleshoot faster. Instead of waiting until I knew everything, I could learn while building. So AI became something I used every day, not as a replacement for my thinking, but as a partner that accelerated my execution. So the problem, getting the most value from AI are not necessarily the most technical people. They are often the people that deeply understand what the problem is, and then they now use AI to move faster towards a solution. So how I actually used AI was, one question I get to ask a lot is, what exactly did you use your AI for? The answer is almost every stage of the journey. AI helped me to learn faster. It helped me to understand technical concepts. Before now, like I said, I was a cloud and DevOps engineer, or I am still a cloud and DevOps engineer. So AI helped me to understand the technical concepts. It helped me to refine product requirements. It also helped me to troubleshoot my problems. I used AI to create documentations and contents. It also helped me to think through workflows and product features. And because I already developed some cloud and DevOps knowledge, I was able to use AI much more effectively. But I also want to say something very important. Not everyone wants to be a cloud engineer. Not everyone wants to learn software development, and that's perfectly okay. So if you have a meaningful product to solve an idea you are passionate about, and don't let the technical side stop you. I said before, this is one of the reasons communities like Tekkdose exist. So these people are here. They can help you think through these products, validate your ideas, help move you from concepts to a live product. So the most important thing is not knowing everything. The most important thing is starting. Identify these problems. Then communities like this will help you bring these products to life. And like I said, what AI could not do for me. So one of the biggest misconceptions about AI is that it can do everything. No, that's not true. My experience has been very different. AI is incredibly powerful, but AI has never created Trackmond on its own. AI didn't spend the 12 years I spent in healthcare. AI didn't witness patients struggling between hospital visits. AI didn't identify these problems. AI didn't build trust with hospitals. AI didn't convince the healthcare providers to onboard the patients because people are already onboarding. I spoke with Shay yesterday. I said, I had 2 hospitals already onboarded and they're onboarding their patients. And if 2 hospitals are already onboarded, at least I know they have up to 2,000 patients minimum. So if I'm able to onboard more patients, AI did not help me do this, but AI helped me accelerate the whole stuff. So those things came from people. They came from experiences, they came from relationships, they came from empathy, they came from understanding. So what AI did was to help me move faster. And that was why I described AI as a multiplier. If you understand the problem deeply, AI can help you execute it faster. So if you don't understand the problem, AI will simply help you move faster in a wrong direction. So I think I'm wrapping up. So when people say when people see a live product, they often assume it happened so quickly or that someone had everything figured out from the beginning. But that wasn't my experience. My journey was messy. There were moments of uncertainty, I will tell you that. In fact, I was speaking with Mr. Shei the other day. I said, sincerely, do you know, there was a point I brought in a developer. In fact, the last time we spoke in London, I said I brought in a developer. But believe me, there was a point I had to tell him to hold on, let me do it myself. I had to start. So there were times I asked myself, who sent me? There were times the uncertainty was there. There were technical challenges. There are nights where I would debug, I would troubleshoot, and then 3 a.m. I'm still awake and I'm going to work the next day. I'll go and sleep. So there were technical challenges. There were things I had to learn along the way. But every step moved me closer to this goal. So today, Trackmond is live on Android. We're working on iOS now. If you go to Play Store, it's there. Hospitals are already onboarding their patients. We are learning from real users and we'll continuously be improving. So the most important thing I've learned is this. You do not need to know everything before you start. You do not need a perfect condition. You simply need to take the first step and keep moving. Progress creates opportunities. Perfection delays them. So on this note, I would like to wrap up my presentation, right? So before we finish, I want to leave you with one final thought. Trackmond did not start as a product. It started as a problem I could not stop thinking about. Many of you already have ideas. Many of you have identified problems in your workplaces, in your industries, in your businesses, or in your communities. So the difference between an idea and a product is often not intelligence. It is action. AI has made building easy or easier than ever before. So product communities like Tekkdose have made guidance even more accessible than ever before. The barriers are lower than they have ever been. So if you are sitting on an idea, start exploring it today. Start validating it. Start building it. You don't need to know everything today. You just need to take that first step. Thank you for spending this time with me. I would also love to connect with you. You can find us on LinkedIn. You can follow me on my LinkedIn page, Oranekwulu, and follow us on all of our Trackmond pages on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. You can visit our website and you can follow us, and I'll be so happy to take questions after now. Thank you so much.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, I did not want you to stop. God, what? You're built for this, Marianne. Founder is in your blood. Come on now. Come on now, guys. Can I get some more reactions? Thank you for the way you put it. The way you put it from the start to the finish. Like, I like the way you came up and said that, AI did not find the problem. That was spot on. That, in fact, to be fair, that in itself is a catchword that you should have. AI would not find the problem.
Yeah.
You have the responsibility of identifying the problem. And then, of course, reminding us that these problems actually sit around our daily experiences, our lived experiences. I like that word as well. It's our lived experiences. The way that AI has come to life now, and in the age that we are, everyone who can reflect on their lived experience and identify the gaps in what life should have been, or what life was versus what they think good looks like, or what life should be, it's a fantastic opportunity now for us to start to use these tools to help accelerate, the building or the delivery of what a good, decent life would look like for you, what a decent experience would look like for you. What do we have AI for? Of course, things like validating and researching. And I just love the way you put it. So thank you very much. Everyone, please feel free to follow. The name is on LinkedIn. It's
Oranekwulu Marianne.
Yeah, I followed you for sure, and I would love everyone in the room as well to go ahead and follow. She's one of our, budding founders now. Like you heard, we talked over different sessions when we're at AWS in London. So to be fair, we work out of the same office space in Bristol as well. So a lot of experience, a lot of shared experiences here. So please do well to follow. Do we have any questions before I go on and ask my questions? Anybody has any questions to ask, please go for it.
All right. Thank you very much, Sheyi. Marianne, thanks so much for that presentation. But when you said you were rounding up, I was thinking that, why are you rushing? And interestingly, you didn't, I don't think you really skip any points. You were just pouring it out of your heart, the way it is. But I'd like to still find out from you, what is the customer journey? We are dealing with the patients and how you want their issue to be resolved, their pain points. What have you really found out about them? I just wanted to elucidate on that more, so that people like me will really understand. You spoke about different issues they pass through, so I just wanted to dwell so much on that. What have you really observed? You mentioned it, but I want a further explanation on it. You can give us a use case scenario.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for that question. So I'm going to give you a real life experience or a real scenario. For me, apart from having the lived experience, right, I would like to say I'm a victim of hospitals not monitoring patients. I lost my own father to cardiac arrest because there was no person monitoring them. So now imagine a pregnant woman, right, who goes to the hospital for her usual antenatal and then returns back home. The doctor places them on the usual appointments the next 30 days, that's 1 month, 2 weeks as the case may be, and they go home, they are very fine. And the next minute, there's a spike. Their family member rushes them to the hospital and they say preeclampsia and pregnancy. We all know that, right? So it's because there is no system to monitor them between hospital visits. So imagine your parents in the village. Some persons will be just like you're in the UK and your parents are down there in Nigeria, and then in the next minute they get emergency calls that they've been rushed to the hospital. If there was somebody monitoring their numbers, these things are preventable, right? So there are so many persons are coming down with stroke because of unmonitored hypertension. So many persons are coming down with kidney failures because of unmonitored hypertension. The same thing with glucose. So many persons are having readings hitting the roof because they leave the doctor's office. Between the time they leave that doctor's office and when they would come back, maybe in emergencies, nobody is monitoring them. So this is a gap in the healthcare system, right? So imagine that at the comfort of your home, you log in your readings through TrackMont. The doctors, if there's a critical reading, the doctors get the notification immediately. So there's early intervention. The pregnant woman will not come down with preeclampsia because if she had recorded her readings 2 weeks before that day, they would have known that her readings were going up. Now imagine some persons that they gave medications like amlodipine, lisinopril, most of those medications, right? How is the doctor sure that those medications are working for those patients until they return for the next appointment. So if they place you on those medications and you're taking them and it's not working, and you're seeing your readings real time, they will call you back and make a review. And with that, there's early intervention. So I don't know if this answers the questions.
Well, thank you very much. Fair enough. Well, to a large extent, it answers it, but just by the way of follow-up on that question. Now, these products, is it going to be, I used the word for shade the other day, we laughed over it. I said silver bullets. So these products, is it going to be like a silver bullet for all ailments? Now, what I mean by silver bullets, to break it down further, is like one fixed solution that is, it's like a tracking system, so that I can monitor. If I'm a physician, I can monitor what goes on with my patient,
exactly.
in the corner of their room. When I log into it, okay, this is what I'm going through. Now, does it cater for all issues, or you segmented it to, okay, maybe these are heart-related issues, these are arteries-related issue, kidney-related issue? Is it to address them? I just want to look at the addressable markets.
Yes, for now we are just targeting. For now, like we said, we just started, so we're just targeting with two major diseases, chronic diseases, which is diabetes and hypertension for now.
Wow.
Yeah, and then hypertension encompasses all departments in the hospital. The gynecological departments have hypertensive patients. The cardiologists, they have hypertensive patients. Even the general, the GOPD, the normal outpatients, they have hypertensive patients. So every hospitals have hypertensive patients. So for now, we are on just hypertensive patients and diabetics. So while we scale, we keep adding other diseases to it.
Wow, that's right. Wow. It's scalable. Thank you very much. Thank you, Thumbs up. Thank you very much. Yeah,
absolutely. Mr. Tolu, thank you for those questions. Really good questions to drill down onto, how this product is addressing real problems. Thanks. I have one question. Let me just ask you. I think this one will just go to you as a, as a founder who is always making decisions. As a founder myself, I find myself in a situation where I have to really make trade-offs. And just drop one thing over the other. Can you, and no pressure if you can't think about one off the head, but if you can think of one, what was that one thing that you have to be like, man, see this one, I'm not doing. I'm going to focus on this. What was that one single thing that you dropped and said, okay, I was thinking about a very big lofty product, but I'm going to simplify it? Because it would really help many founders who think ambitiously, like, oh, I want to solve the world's health issues. I want to quickly go ahead and solve, and fix the problem that WHO is not able to fix. But you get to a point where you have to make a critical decision and say, I'm going to drop this off. I'm going to focus on this. Is there one thing that you just said, this, I know it's good to fix, but I'm going to keep it for now, and I'm going to focus on just these two features?
Yeah, there are lots, and I wouldn't say I dropped it. Yeah, I kept it aside, but I was taking it on board, right? Because if I want to do all of those stuff, it's going to be very cumbersome for me. Right? So the most important thing is to start first, because it's when you keep bringing in those stuff, it's going to look like this thing is not going to come to life. So TrackMond is beyond what you're seeing now. We have a vision, right? So those things, we kept it by the side, and we said, okay, let us start with this platform first, because definitely from this, we are going to move into the vision 2. There's a vision 2. So we didn't want to bring all of those stuff together now.
Yeah,
we didn't want to bring all of those stuff. So there is a lot to TrackMond. So we had to keep it, even the features too. So I like I wanted to integrate the Bluetooth features to it too as well, so that even if you check with a BP machine that has Bluetooth, you can actually send it through Bluetooth to the app. But like I said, there are so many features. As we scale, we keep adding to it. So this is Vision 1 of TrackMond, and in the next 3 to 6 months, our Vision 2 will be live.
Oh, I love it. I like the way you said you're taking it, in almost slices or in sprints and in versions, as you said it. Second question. I've been an engineer myself. I've worked with engineers myself. And I know the mindset we carry as engineers is slightly different from the mindset that you would have to carry as a founder. To be fair, for me to navigate from being an engineer to becoming a founder, I literally had to go through a full year's program of MBA, as well as some other training courses. So I really sort of had to go through that sort of navigation, and I'm still learning. So I want to ask you, coming from an engineering background and then navigating into becoming a founder, what's that hardest non-technical skill that you had to build as you were moving through this product development journey?
Sincerely, it's communication skills. To be sincere.
I almost did the other before you said it, but I'm like,
sincerely, it's communication. Yeah. I don't have a choice, you know. Yeah. There's something like you do not have a choice. So I'm a deep thinker, but I know there is one skill I don't have is communication skill. But for you to be a founder, you just don't have a choice. You need to start. And sincerely, I'm still learning. So even when you called me for this, I said, I don't have a choice. So I have to. But if it was those days when I was just an engineer, I could just tell you, Mr. Shea, I'm not doing a beg. You understand? So, but the thing is, nobody will market your product more than you do. Nobody has that idea more than you. Even if you have people working for you, you have the vision. You're only pouring it into them. So if you cannot communicate, they can't carry the vision and run with it. So this is something, and it's something that one day, because not just one day, in fact, I'm already preparing pitches for grants and the rest of them. I have to learn it. You understand? So this is one thing I would say has been, it can't be an issue for me already. I've moved past that. So I'm on that lane, I'm learning. So it's just communication, like public speaking.
Lovely, thank you. And if you were going to give an advice to another engineer or someone from a technical background, so when I say engineer, let's look at it more or less what I've found in my few years of navigating the technical space versus the tactical strategic space is that with the technical space, you're really embedded with the what and the technical delivery of it, versus when you're going strategic and you're starting to think why or how, as it were.
Yeah.
Now, how would you advise someone who's coming from a technical background or a tech professional who wants to become a founder and wants to build an investable business? What would be your number one advice to them?
First of all, like I said on my slides, you need to identify the problems first. Okay. You need to do your market analysis, research. Who are these products for? What problems are you solving? Right? So for me, my own is a unique stuff because I am the founder here. I have the idea. I am the engineer here. I have the lived experience. So somebody might come from a technical field, but it could be that the problems or the solution you're trying to provide is not from the technical field. So you need somebody else that's like a co-founder that can help you bring. So for me, I have the technical background. I have the healthcare background. So that's why it's easy for me to do all of those stuff. But it still does not stop you. If you have the idea and you don't have the technical know-how, that is why communities like Tekkdose is there. They have their engineers there. They have all the technical teams there. So they will help you speed up your ideas. They do the product thinking for you. They are the product owners. So it's unlike before when you have ideas and then you dive with your ideas. It's no longer that way again. You understand? So even for me, if I was not technical enough, I will seek for help. So that's why we intentionally join communities like this. Yeah. So even for me too, that I feel I'm technical, nobody knows it all. And that's why I'm still here too in Tekkdose. If you don't hold me, I know where to hold Mr. Shea. So the thing is, for every person that has an idea, it's possible. If Trackman can be possible today, it's possible. So bring this idea and then we'll convert it to a product with Tekkdose. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Any more questions? I'd allow any other person who has a question to go for it. At least we can take 2 more questions before we round off today.
Hi, Marianne. Amazing stuff. Honestly, amazing. I love it when women are doing stuff like that. It gives me so much joy.
Yep. I'd celebrate that one.
Joy, honestly. I just love, like what Shay just said about AI will not find the problem for you. You will. That really, really resonated. That really should be something you really put up there and be like, Nuna, listen, this is what it is. If you really want to make that change, you are the one living in that problem. You should be able to find a solution to it. So kudos to you. You are doing absolutely amazing. Good job. Well done.
Thank
you. You know what you're doing, honestly. This is a silly question to ask, though, but I'm going to ask anyway because I didn't really see it anywhere. Is your platform AI powered?
Yeah, I integrated AI to it.
In what way?
So what I did was this for the doctors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine a doctor that has up to 5,000 patients, right? So you don't need to manually go through those patients' profile to check. So AI will also help the doctors to do what? To do the reports, the analytics. So if they have amongst the 5,000 patients and they have 5 critical conditions, the AI will help them do what? Analyze it, give them a report. So it helps with their workflow. So I integrated AI to it as well. And then on the platform, so that's the app, that's the patient's interface. I integrated AI into it. So basically, they can ask AI just basic questions, but AI is not prescribing any drugs for them. AI is not just the usual, okay, what can I do to reduce my BP? Take some rest, go to your hospital. So another thing I did was, now for patients with critical readings, the AI will tell you that you need to see your doctor now. So it's just like a summary. You could ask some questions there. It helps with this analytics on the doctor's dashboard. So basically, that's what I did with it.
Awesome. That's all for me. I just wanted to know where exactly the AI support is in the platform.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for that question, Joe. I love the fact that you've embedded that intelligence element as well. And of course, it just tells me that there will be some level of dashboard reporting that demonstrates what's going on at an eye level, then at the granular level as well. Oh, fantastic. Any other question? One more question. I'll allow one more question before perhaps I will throw a question to the house. One more question from anyone who's listening. Happy to take one more. Okay, so this will be my own question to the room, and it's everyone. To be fair, it's good when we begin to see innovation come out at scale. And I think one of the things that really excites me as a founder is when I see fellow founders creating products. And Miriam knows, you can agree with me. In a day, I think about a product. Maybe I see a product on LinkedIn. And guys, if you've not followed her on LinkedIn, please do. Is the name, just the way you see our name here. Once you search it, Miriam or Oranekwulu on LinkedIn, on LinkedIn, you find it. You find out there. Follow her. Engage with the posts. If they resonate with you, please feel free to repost them as well. We are doing this to support the growth of this new birthed product. And yeah, like I was saying, so once I see that and I come up with my design thinking or product thinking wave comes up, I'm like, what have you done? Where are you? And I sort of start asking her questions and checking in with that. Now, why am I saying that? Is to say the passion that that wells up in me when I see other founders, going in the direction of building from lived experiences or from valid challenges. So I want to ask this question. It's an open house question. How many of us in this room have had to delay a launch or delay the build of a product just because while we experienced that there was a broken system wherever we're working, and I've thrown this into the group a lot of times, wherever we're working, we've identified a broken system, we've identified a gap, but we've still almost said, I don't have enough resources to build the system. And show of hands. I'm not if anyone wants to speak and say the reason why, then I'm happy for you to. But if you have just a show of hands, thumbs up, yes. But how many of us in this room have many times, day in, day out, we see a broken system, we see some challenges, and you're just like, I can't be bothered. It's going to take a lot of my time. I'm going to have to go through this journey. I'm going to have to go through research. I'm going to have to ask questions. I'm going to have to, people are going to drill me just like this. Thank you, Tio. Yeah. Yes, people are going to, I'm going to have to start communicating and presenting my idea to people like Mr. Sheyi, quote and unquote, and all the other investors or, potential equity partners. How many of us have been there myself? As a founder, everything that I have as an idea is not all that I've built, right? There are situations that I find that could have been improved, and I thought, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready. Why? There might be reasons. I might have experienced it, so it might be slightly a lived experience, but at that moment, maybe not just invested in the change. For me, I also have a couple of products I've already sort of put there online, so a little busy, and it might be different for me in context to some other people who are not just now. They're not busy, but they haven't really started to harness the tools that can help them to scale. One of the things I want to talk about today is the possibility of seeing a problem for what it really is. The possibility of seeing a problem for what it really is. And I'll take my quote from where we've taken that really, that was the word now, however, that anchor point that we've taken from what Marianne shared with us today. And that is that these tools and technology that we have available will not identify the problem for us. What does that mean? It means that if you see a problem day in, day out, then there is a problem. And so you've identified a problem. Whether you decide to take an action with that problem will be on to you. Whether you continue to be the 9-to-5er who waits on instructions and guidance, or you decide to then become a problem solver and then accelerate, or rather elevate from, I've identified a problem too, how do I then think around this problem and then research around this problem and validate that this is a real thing that exists that needs to be solved, will be a decision that you have to make. However, a reminder, guys, we have tools that can support the problem identification, problem validation, problem space analysis with the use of AI. This is not an advert session, so I'm not going to be calling out any AI tools as it were. But we can always have those conversations, and in the community, of course, we have those conversations day in, day out. My passion and vision is to see many more of us who walk through problem spaces every day to begin to put on our creative art and say, wow, if Tekkdose says that there are tools to make me solve one or two of these problems, and we saw evidently how Marianne said with our journey, she did not have all of the financial resources to start to employ, one technology developer or engineer over the other, and when the one was sort of disappointing, she just tossed that one aside and then employed another one. No, there was no luxury of that. Maybe a few improvements around her skill set. Yeah, I hear when she said she's come from a background from engineering, and somebody else might be asking, and I really thought that might be a question someone else asked, do I have to come from engineering? Especially because she said she's come from engineering. I've said I come from engineering, and we are saying, it looks like all the founders in the room have come from an engineering background, but no. I think the one thing that has really stood out for me was the thinking. It was the mindset to say, yeah, I'm willing to solve this problem now. I'm willing to validate this problem that I grew up experiencing, or I've walked into experiencing. I want to solve it. First things first. So anything to take away from here, guys, if you've ever looked at a problem, thought it was a real problem, but shunned away from it, I think it's high time you started to think, I can solve this problem. And if you ask yourself, how do I solve this problem? Just rest assured there are tools. Otherwise, there's an organization that can support you. And that's Tekkdose. We've built a very robust team of product managers and product owners that sit with you and sort of have these conversations and analyze to see that this problem space is real. We have toolkits that help to expand on whether this problem space is worth spending time and money on. And then, of course, we have, for instance, I'm happy to share, we've got tools, bespoke tools that we've also created in terms of AI tools that can fast track your problem statement to a real idea. Anyone knows what a PRD is. It's a product requirement document that then says to you, now this is what the requirements will be. Do you think you have the resources to build it? If you have the resources to build it, why not go venture into it? These are the questions you need to ask. This is what a typical customer would look like. Let me just show you what that product looks like. Right, great. So yeah, if like the question I asked, if anyone in the room had a problem before, identified a problem within, or started to get an idea around what's possible, and then shunned it to the side and said, I don't think I have the money or the time to invest in this, Tekkdose can offer you your first step. And we can offer you the opportunity to turn that idea into a real problem and sort of highlight the requirements. Our next session, we will do more, what will be a demo. Of course, we'll bring a lot more founders into the room, but I will not be demoing today. I'm giving everyone a challenge to say this community is built to support you around developing problems. And of course, if you have developed a problem, we are more than welcome to continue to sort of grow with us, and we continue to ask these questions and sort of push you, in the direction of success. But thank you one more time, everyone. Thanks to everyone who has joined. Marianne, you were fantastic. Thank you for the courage. Thank you for the boldness to become this founder that you're gradually becoming. I see the product really transforming the Nigerian health and to be fair, the African health sector, otherwise the global health sector, as you continue to grow and continue to do all of the right things. Thank you so much. The vision, like I said at the start, is to support, inspire, and grow as many, AI founders, AI-driven product managers, AI-driven product owners that can create solutions from problem spaces that they've identified, they've lived, otherwise that has come up as an idea within them. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate your participation, your questions, your interactions. So that will be a wrap for today.